Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this card using the Dragonfly Garden stamp set, and we've got the coordinating punch to go with that as well. Okay, a few other little bits and pieces along the way to show you as I go along. This is the key stamp set that we're going to use today. So the current annual catalogue will retire on the 2nd of May. So this is one of those annual catalogue stamp sets, so it's one that may or may not retire with that catalogue. So I have to watch this space, see what happens when the list of retiring products is released to you. So that's what I'm going to use today. And the other thing that will definitely retire is the in colours that we've got in place at the moment. So we have two sets of in colours that sort of alternate, so they're here with us for 2 years, and each year we swap a set out. So the set that's leaving us in May will be Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight and Magenta Madness. Okay, so my particular favourites, I really love this Misty Moonlight blue, it's really nice. This is a beautiful green, and I do like this yellow with that sort of just a hint of sort of brown or orange in there. So really nice set of colours that we'll be leaving us to. So if these colours are not in your collection right now, you need to try and snap those up, and if they are in your collection and you want to keep on using them, get hold of the re-inkers, coordinating cardstock. Anything in these colours is going to retire. Okay, so that's just a heads up there that you may want to do that. Okay, so that's our colour collection, stamp set. So the idea was to try and use all the colours in one project before they retire. Okay, so we'll show you how we're doing that then. We've got the Magenta Madness card base there, and then we have a white panel, which is, yeah, it is 3.5 by 5.25. Okay, 3.5 by 5.25 is the white panel, and then we've got a piece of black cardstock around the outside there, which is 1/8 of an inch taller and wider, and that just helps that just come up from the background. I felt like if I was going to layer it straight on top, it would just get a bit lost, so I wanted something just to sort of separate that out a bit. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Don't need the black layer straight away. So what we do need though is to do a bit of stamping. So we're going to stamp around the edge of the card base. So I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper that I've got on my desk here. I'm going to put the little butterflies out of the set there. We're going to do some sort of tone on tone, if you like, by using the Magenta Madness ink, just to add some detail around the edge there. So you've seen me do this before, and it's just a nice way to add some detail to your card base, and reasonably quick and easy to do. Okay, just sort of doing that in different angles as well, just so that you get different portions of the stamp showing at different points around the card. Alright, so that's that can be put to one side, and then we'll bring back in our panel here. So the background here, we're just going to use that sort of lovely sort of daisy, sort of wildflowers stamp here, this big stamp, and we're going to use Bumblebee ink just to pop that into the background, so it's just not plain really, to be honest. It's just to break up that white and give us a background for our dragonflies. So this is a large stamp, so you're going to have to make sure you go sort of catch all the bits and bobs there. And then we're going to take this to the right. Just try to make sure that the the stalks come close to the bottom and they're not sort of floating in the air. They're floating a bit on the other sample, but just didn't quite leave. So there's a bit of a, you know, the red rubber isn't cut right up against the edge, isn't there? There's like a little gap, isn't there? A border. So I didn't make sufficient allowance for that on my original sample. So we've got one on the left and the right here, and then I'm just going to pop another one in the middle, just to break that up a bit. So I'm just going to go lower so it doesn't look too uniform really, and we just filled up that background just a little teeny tiny bit with some detail there. Alright, so that can be put set to one side, and we'll just bring in just some scrap if you like, and a little bit there. And we need to do our dragonflies and our sentiment. So sentiment's nice and easy. We're just going to do the sentiment on that little strip there for a true friend. Isn't that lovely? And I'm actually using this lovely double oval punch to stamp that. No, I'm going to punch it out, not cut it out. Okay. So just flip your punch over, just line that up in the middle or thereabouts, and we can just give that a nice punch out. So that's ready to go onto the card base. Now of course you do have the option to cut another oval there with the sort of, I don't know, it's not a scalloped edge, it's like a decal edge I suppose, if you wanted to put a border around that. But again, I tried a couple of things out, and I think it looked best with just the oval on its own. Alright, so that's that. So that's ready to go. And then on this piece we're going to stamp 2 dragonflies. Okay, so there we are, 2 dragonflies. So we'll just get 2 of those stamped. Lots of light tapping. The body on this particular image is solid, so you just want to make sure that that is completely inked, and you want some nice firm pressure just to make sure all that ink transfers. And if you just hold it down for a couple of seconds, just make sure that that transfers in its entirety. Alright, so because I need to stamp another one, I'm just going to get that cleaned off using my stamping chamois, which is just off shot here on the to the left of me. Okay, so we can now do our Just Jade one as well. Okay, so again, plenty of ink. Make sure that central body portion is well inked, straight down, firm pressure, not, you know, hard, just firm, so it makes good contact with the cardstock. Hold it down for a few seconds and lift straight up. And there's Dragonfly. So that's it. All the stamping's done. All the stamping's done. So a nice little optional extra that we can do is use some Wink of Stella clear glitter brush pen just to add some shimmer to the wings. It will pull colour out of the line art a little bit as well, which on this particular image I think looks nice. But it just adds just a hint of shimmer, especially with this. This is pretty much run out now. There isn't much in there, so that is going to be just ever so subtle, and that's just fine. Okay, so I always wonder whether there's enough for you to catch that in the camera. Now I think that's it. I think you can see it there. Okay, so again with the punch we've got 2 images, so if you were stamping something above there, you'd have to factor in the fact this additional image is going to punch out as well. But just like with all our punches, if you flip it over and just take your time to line that up. I usually find that lining up the head and the tail first and just making slight adjustments for the wings is probably the easiest way to go. Nice firm pressure on the punch and it will just punch out lovely, and you do get these little teeny tiny dragonflies as well. We're not using them on this project, but it could be something that you use on something else. And again, we'll just do exactly the same, head and body lined up first. Do a little double check on the wings. Yep, good firm pressure and punch. Okay, isn't that great? I love punches because they are just nice and quick and easy to use. So we can add some shape. Rub your bond folder over the top of it. You don't even necessarily need to use a tool. You can just use your fingers if you want. You get a nice rounded effect. Just gives them some lift from the card. And I'm going to get my mini dimensionals, just to pop a couple of those on there so the wings can still lift up. Then I've got some little sort of scraps from the edges there, which are perfect for the sentiment. So there we go. All we need to do now is layer stuff up, so it's nice and quick and simple. And of course, you who watch me regularly know that Stampin' Seal is my favourite adhesive. Line that up at the end there, making sure that top, bottom and side border are even. And once I'm happy, I'm going to let go of the other end, and that should be nice and even on there as well. Same thing when you would do it to your card base. Oh, let's have it the way up. Were you screaming at me then? It's upside down. Again, watching those three borders, and then that's it. The last one will fall into place. Okay, so a couple of ways we can address how we're going to get these adhered to the card. So I do like to what I'd call dry build this and just sort of have an idea of where I'm going with things. And now I do like things breaking the border. It just sort of helps draw your eye in on the original sample. I did it with the Dragonfly over here, but I'm thinking about whether I can do it with the sentiment, just to give you another optional layout. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll just take off the backing there, make sure that's where we want it to be, and straight hopefully, she says. And then we will put our dragonflies on. So I've opted for two different coloured dragonflies. You could, of course, you know, I'm making a point here of trying to use all the colours, making that look really difficult, and it's not difficult at all. It's because I'm talking. But like I say, if you've got another colour option in mind, go ahead and use that. It's no, it's just merely a serving suggestion. Okay. And then just don't want it to look like it's flying out of his head, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Ooh. Or cover up too much of the other details as well. So, okay, yeah, I like that actually. It's kind of weighted off to the left. That's not the left, that is the right. But I think I like that. Cool. You know, you can get it out. I mean, you know, rule of threes and everything. You could have put in another one, but I'm going to say that my rule of three this time is the 2 plus the sentiment. Okay, so same but different. Loads of different options. Like I say, the colours I've chosen today are purposely to showcase those retiring colours. Have them do a last few dalliances. Okay, there'll be some, hopefully there'll be some other projects later on for some blog hops, or focusing on retiring products once we know exactly what is retiring. So watch that space for those. In the meantime, if you just want to click into the description, all the products of you today are listed there if you fancy taking a closer look at them in the online shop. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. It's given you some ideas. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.